Welcome back. This is training number 3. Hi again, I'm Michelle Terpstra, CEO and founder of Startup Sales Leadership Institute. Friendly reminder, if you haven't connected with me on social, please go do it now. I would love to hear from you and also hear how you're enjoying the training so far. Hopefully you have noticed so far through these training videos a couple things about me. I'm fun, I know what I'm doing, I'm not perfect, and I keep going. Even if I mess up a few words in my training, I just keep rolling with it. You want to know why? Because people learn best when you're real. And another few things that I hope you've gathered is that I am really passionate about helping you. There is absolutely nothing I love better than being the strategist that you need to take your business to the next level. If you've been hanging out with me on social, you'll see that I talk about my clients' success a lot more than I talk about mine. Why? Because I think that's what matters. And I hope that's what matters to you. Because I know I'm successful. I know I've got this. I never worry. However, so few people actually get their clients' real results that I want to show you what's possible for you. So if we're not hanging out on social yet, please go hang out. And you'll also see a few reviews inside this training portal as well. All right, so this is one of my favorite parts, and I want to tell you why. So what we're going to talk about right now is your customized sales training. I call it your branded sales university, and I want to explain to you why this is so critical for your business. I remember back in the day, a lot of years ago, possibly 15 by the time that you have listened to this, and I don't like to age myself, but it's been a while. And I joined a company called Thomson Reuters, huge, massive global company. And I was selling tax and accounting software, resources, tools, digital libraries. And I was selling it in Orange County, California. So my territory was all of Orange County. And you know what? Hawaii, because I was actually the closest person to Hawaii being in Southern California. So that wasn't too bad to have to go to Hawaii to sell. That was pretty fun. But that's not what I want to talk about. And what I want to talk about is my onboarding process at Thomson Reuters and why it has informed this part of what we're going to talk about today and how it's impacted this. So I've had a lot of good sales jobs. Thomson Reuters was the best. And I want to tell you why. Not only was the product the absolute best in the marketplace, and we were the underdog, so that means I got to fight for market share, which is pretty darn exciting, and be successful at that. It's that little trophy over there is the amount of competitive knockouts I had during that job, and I absolutely loved it. But how was I so successful? First of all, I was really, really young. I think I was 25. So 25, multi-six-figure sales job opportunity. And on my first day, I realized that everyone was at least 10 years older than me, that all the other territory sales managers. And I was like, wow, I really nailed that interview to get in here like that. But I also had to rise to the occasion. And we got shipped out to New York. And in New York, we spent, I believe it was a week. It may have been a little bit longer. And we spent a week learning about the products we were selling. It was intensive sales training done by the sales training department of Thomson Reuters. I really wish I still had the binder, but it was like this big. And we went through everything to understand how to position and sell those products the best darn way that we could. Now, we were all hired because we were great at sales, but none of us had ever sold that before. We had to be trained on what to sell, and it's really important. And what that empowered me to do is to focus on learning. So the second I hit the streets, yes, I had to go door by door, had to climb the stairs, I knocked on the doors, I earned my stripes, friends, okay? And it empowered me to be successful quicker, to get that trophy, to see a lot of success that I wouldn't have seen if that wasn't available. And I'll never forget that because I was successful faster there than any other organization I joined ever again. And I remembered this. And I mean, I was so quickly successful there that even being young and arguably the least experienced out of all of the territory sales managers across the country, I was offered the position and compensated as the new hire mentor. So after the new hires went to this training in New York, then they landed in my lap to actually make sure they integrated what they learned and they could be successful. And that was really an amazing opportunity for me. And I think it was the beginning of what you see today as a sales strategist and consultant. So I wanted to tell you that story because it informs what we're going to talk about today. Now, you're likely not a Fortune 500 company. If you are, hi, but most likely not, because this is the Startup Sales Leadership Institute. And you likely are not prepared or know how to do what I just talked about. And because we're in the digital age, you're not creating binders anymore. We're creating digital learning portals for our sales teams. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Now, I attract a lot of online business owners. So if you're a coach, consultant, educator, agency owner, you're really familiar with ways that we educate our clients through online content, course materials, learning portals, all the things. If you're not and you're a little blindsided right now, send me a message on social and I'm happy to explain it in some more detail for you. Okay? Now, the reason why this is important is everything at Thomson Reuters that was this giant physical binder is now going in your digital, custom branded sales university. It is amazing and it's an absolute game changer. So we're going to talk about what goes into that. Now, before I talk about what goes into that, I want to explain to you why it's so important. And I've mentioned this a few times, but what you don't want to do is exchange all the time that you were selling to then teach your team how to sell, support your team, all of the things. That doesn't make any sense. Then what would be the point of all of this, right? So when you take the time up front, which it's going to take you some time, I'm not going to pretend it doesn't. I'm not one of those fake strategists. Listen, you got to put the work in up front. It's going to take you a while. By yourself, it could possibly take you hundreds of hours. With me, very, very fast because I have everything already built out for you and it's drag and drop templates, plug and plays, and I can decrease your time by about 90%. So if you're considering working with me in the academy, the time alone is worth it. Now, let's talk about what goes into this and why this is so important. And real quickly, I want to finish my loop on the time part of it. Once this is all created, when you hire a sales team member, they go through your online training with checkpoints, with homework, when they have to schedule calls with you to make sure they're on track, their mock sales calls, all of the things, right? But this thing that you've built in the background, this is saving you hundreds and hundreds of hours of training. And it also allows you to do something that's really important in sales leadership, and that's keep a warm bench. Unfortunately, not every salesperson you hire is going to be the perfect fit. They also might move, change their life, get a different job, have a baby, something else in their life takes them away, and they might not be with you forever. So a great sales leader always has a warm bench. And what does that mean? Someone who's ready to sell right now if someone leaves, or if you start getting more leads and you want more people. It's this really beautiful, beautiful thing. So when they can go through the university, instead of you having to handhold them through all of that, they are ready to rock and roll really quickly. So let's talk about what goes inside of this, okay? All right. So first of all, like I mentioned, you want to hire people that are already great at sales, just like I was with Thomson Reuters, and then train them to be even better, top high performers, also really great at selling your thing. And that takes me to the next part here, okay? Just because someone can sell does not mean they can sell your stuff. This is a really critical breaking point and something that I see overlooked time and time again. Oh, I'm hiring Susie because she was successful at that company and she'll just knock it out of the park. I don't need to set her up for success. I'll just give her a checkout link and a CRM and she'll be on her merry way. No, it doesn't happen. Most great individual contributors are not great leaders. Okay? There's a big difference. You're not hiring someone, you're not hiring a fractional CSO like me to come in, build the strategy, do all the things. You're hiring an executor. They're not strategists. So this needs to be done before they're there so they can be successful quickly and know how to sell your stuff. All right, the next thing is, It's really, really important, and this is why I really encourage you to check out the Academy if you haven't, is third-party value. So what does that mean? So inside my Academy, when you're building out your branded sales university, I have dozens of templates of mine that are branded from the Institute and additional trainings. The reason why is when I educate your sales team, it is a different level of authority and effectiveness than when you do. It also takes the time and the pressure off of you to figure out how to do that, okay? Now, if you're not joining the Academy, that's okay, but just make sure that your university is set up for success with comprehensive video trainings, templates, swipes, all of the things so they can be effective. Next, now, what goes in this, right? And I told you, I'm gonna give you all the things. If you want my help, I'd love it, but if not, here's all the things. You need to have sections. These are the sections of your branded university, okay? The tabs of your binder, your processes, your plays, your personas, personalized trainings to sell all your things, scripts, objection handling strategy, follow-up, how to use the CRM, how to track it, all the things need to be in there. Onboarding, how do you get all the things you need to be successful in an organization? Absolutely critical. Pricing, positioning, and how you're going to indicate their performance and assess them, which we talked about in one of the earlier trainings. So all of this needs to go in here. And on average, it's probably going to end up being over 20 to 30 hours of training inside your university that's recorded, and it's required for your sales team member to go through, complete the quizzes, all of the assessments, all of the check-in calls and meetings with you or your sales leader before they're allowed to sell. This, my friends, is how your sales team can get trophies too, like I did at Thomson Reuters. This is the secret sauce. This is incredible. This will be your number one asset as you are creating, building, and improving the performance of your sales team.